The next module is on health and disability indicators. Health and disability indicators. These indicators are used to assess the health status and quality of life in a population. What is the use of these indicators? To assess the health status and the quality of life in a population. What are these indicators? First is mortality indicator. Mortality indicator is the indicator of death. Mortality indicators or the death indicators. Morbidity indicator or the indicator of sickness. Morbidity indicator is the indicator of sickness. Utilization indicator, it means how the population is utilizing the health services. Utilization indicator is the indication of practices of the population, how the population is utilizing the health services. Service indicator, it is the indicator of the facilities provided by the government, the services, the facilities provided by the government. Socio-economic indicator, it is the most important indicator because it involves the other sectors that are influencing the health. Okay, socio-economic indicators involve the indicators that are influencing the health, like per capita income, schooling literacy rate, ठीक है, education. So these things, income, housing, literacy rate, these all things influence health. So socio-economic indicator as the most important indicator. Then disability indicators, and we have health and development indicators. So mortality indicator or the indicator of death. Morbidity indicator is the indicator of sickness. Utilization indicator indicates the practices of population. Service indicator indicates the facilities provided by the government. Then socio-economic indicator, which is the most important indicator. Disability indicator, and the last is health or development indicators. Okay, so first is mortality indicator. See, now let's see what is indicator. Indicator, it is a target in the space. Indicator is a target. Target means mid-term milestones. ठीक है, तो तीन तीन टर्म्स होते हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव, टारगेट और गोल. ठीक है, ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है इट इज़ अ शॉर्ट टर्म एंड पॉइंट, target is a mid-term milestone, and goal is a long-term desirable endpoint. Goal is something that we desire. Okay, goal is something desired. It is a long-term desirable endpoint. So there are three terms: objective, targets, and goal. Objective is a short-term endpoint. Target means mid-term milestones, and goal is something desired. It is a long-term desirable endpoint. Objective short-term, target mid-term milestone, and goal is a long-term desirable endpoint. So what is indicator? Indicator is a target. It is a mid-term milestone. Indicator is a target in the space. Okay, so these are the individual indicators: mortality indicator, morbidity indicator, utilization indicator, service indicator, socio-economic indicator, disability indicator, and health and development indicators. Now there is a term called index. Index is a composite amalgamation of the indicators. Index is a composite amalgamation of the indicators. That is, एक index में काफ़ी सारा indicators आ जाएगा. Index is a amalgamation. It is a collection. It is a composite amalgamation of the indicators. ठीक है, indicator एक individual चीज़ है और इसका composite amalgamation. ठीक है, बहुत सारे indicators से index बनता है. इंडिकेटर एक इंडिविजुअल हो गया, एक इंडिविजुअल इंडिकेटर हो गया, और मल्टीपल इंडिकेटर्स दे फॉर्म द इंडेक्स. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इंडिकेटर्स: मोर्टालिटी, मॉर्बिडिटी, यूटिलाइजेशन, सर्विस, disability, socio-economic, and health and development indicators. Index is a composite amalgamation of the indicators. What are the properties of an indicator? Indicators should be valid, reliable, sensitive, specific, feasible, and relevant. So there is 2S, that is sensitive and specific, 2R, that is relevant and reliable, 1F, that is feasible, and then valid. So indicators should be valid, reliable, sensitive, specific, feasible, and relevant. It should be valid, that is, it should be accurate, it should be reliable, it should be sensitive and specific, it should be feasible, that is, it should be practical to calculate with those indicators, and it should be relevant, that is, it should be pertinent to the objective. So indicators should be valid, reliable, relevant, specific, sensitive, and feasible. Now the first indicators, that is mortality indicators. Mortality indicator or the death indicators. In this we have crude death rate, neonatal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, proportional mortality rate, and life expectancy. लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज़ अ पॉजिटिव डेथ इंडिकेटर. ठीक है, मतलब लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी जितना ज़्यादा होगा उसका मतलब है कि डेथ रेट्स उतने कम होंगे. दैट्स वाई इट इज़ अ पॉजिटिव डेथ इंडिकेटर. लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी जितना ज़्यादा रहेगा हेल्थ उतना ज़्यादा रहेगा. ठीक है, और डेथ रेट्स उतने कम होंगे. सो लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज़ अ पॉजिटिव डेथ इंडिकेटर. So mortality indicators are crude death rate, neonatal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, proportional mortality rate, and life expectancy. Life expectancy is also a mortality rate. It is also a mortality indicator. Life expectancy is a positive mortality indicator. So what is crude death rate? Crude death is simple. It is the number of deaths per 1,000 individuals per year. Crude death rate is the number of death per 1,000 individual per year. Neonatal mortality rate. Neonates mean between 0 to 28 days. So neonatal mortality rate, it is the number of infants or neonates. It is the number of neonates that is aged 0 to 28 per 1,000 live births per year. So neonates means the ones that are aged 0 to 28 days. Number of death of individuals 0 to 28 days per 1,000 live births per year is neonatal mortality rate. Infant mortality rate, it is the number of death of children. Infant mortality rate, it is the number of death of children under 1 year per 1,000 live births per year. ठीक है, तो नियोनेटल मोर्टालिटी रेट, इन्फैंट मोर्टालिटी रेट में डिनोमिनेटर्स में 1,000 लाइव बर्थ्स आते हैं. ठीक है, क्रूड डेथ रेट में 1,000 इंडिविजुअल्स आ रहे थे. देन मैटरनल मोर्टालिटी रेट, इट इज़ द नंबर ऑफ मैटरनल डेथ ड्यू टू प्रेगनेंसी रिलेटेड कॉजेज पर 1 lakh live births per year. Maternal mortality rate, it is the number of maternal death due to pregnancy related causes per 1 lakh live birth per year. yeah. तो क्रूड डेथ रेट का डिनोमिनेटर क्या था? 1,000 इंडिविजुअल्स. न्यूनेटल और इन्फेंट मोर्टालिटी रेट में डिनोमिनेटर इज 1,000 लाइव बर्थ्स. 1,000 live births. Maternal mortality rate, the denominator is 1 lakh live births. Maternal mortality rate, it is the number of death due to pregnancy related causes per 1 lakh live births. Per 1 lakh. Maternal mortality rate में डिनोमिनेटर में 1 lakh लाइव बर्थ्स आते हैं. देन प्रोपोर्शनल mortality rate, it is the proportion of death attributed to a specific cause. Proportion of death attributed to a specific cause relative to the total death in the population. Proportional mortality rate is the proportion of death attributed to a specific cause relative to the total death in the population. Then life expectancy, it is a positive death indicator, क्योंकि life expectancy जितना ज़्यादा होगा उतना ज़्यादा अच्छा health status होगा. ठीक है. So, life expectancy is a positive death indicator. As per UNDP, for India in 2021, life expectancy was recorded to be 69.7 years. So, UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. United Nation Development Program के अकॉर्डिंग इंडिया का लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी है 69.7 ईयर्स. Maximum life expectancy is of Hong Kong, that is 89.9 years, and lowest is around 52 to 53 years. ठीक है. Lowest life expectancy 52 to 53 years, which is seen in Central African Republic and Chad. ठीक है. And this is the map for maternal mortality rate. Maternal mortality rate is the maternal death by 1 lakh live births per year. So this is the mortality indicators: crude death rate, neonatal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, proportional mortality rate, and life expectancy, which is a positive death indicator. इंडिया का मैटरनल मोर्टालिटी रेट इज़ 103. इंडिया का मैटरनल मोर्टालिटी रेट इज़ 103 पर 1 लाख लाइव बर्थ्स. इंडिया का मोर्टालिटी रेट इज़ 103. मैटरनल मोर्टालिटी रेट इज़ 103. So this is about the mortality indicators.